Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go over some things real quick in regards to human nature. And I'm not referring to human nature as a subject. I'm referring to a singular person's nature in this aspect. Now, there are three ways that are three common ways that you can perceive a person by utilizing your own methods of sense of your natural senses, whether they would be visually, auditorily, looking, listening, and examining a person from that. The easiest way to try to make an understanding about a person is looking at them physically. Are they physically fit? Are they sickly looking? As far as all that, do they have calloused hands from years of work, and hard labor? Do they take good care of themselves in their appearances? Do they take good care of themselves as far as their muscle structure and their stature? This is all things that are the easiest way to guess and to observe, I guess you could say, as far as that. Understanding the mind is much trickier as far as all that. That requires a lot more steps and a lot more differences in that aspect as far as things of that nature. I mean, the mind runs by logic for the most part. So logically, there are always patterns that can be deduced from these situations. There is voice patterns. You can, whenever you're talking to someone, you could see if a particular subject brings them a more stressed reaction, or if a particular subject has a calming effect on them, as far as that, something they're more comfortable with talking about. There are highs and lows and whatnot to be able to read a person through their through listening to their voices. And the listening, and also in major investigations, they measure auditory signals of a person while being interviewed to see if they're being truthful or if they're telling a lie. There are scientific ways of doing this as well. There are physical patterns that you could look at for a person to tell what type, to try to read what type of a person is it. If they have the same habits, regular habits they do on a daily basis, constantly, over and over and over and over without fail, that is one example of a active physical pattern. And this is, but again, these are all the easier things to notice. You can figure it out logically if you use your wits, as well as to maybe duplicate some special methods to try to gain an understanding of a person. But the biggest thing that you'll never really understand is what is tied to their true nature, the person they are inside, as far as all that. Deception has been happening with the human race in that aspect for generations. We have found corrupt politicians in this aspect who had everything that looked right on the outside, and even in their actions, their voices, their family life, as far as that. And then there are so many times when they get busted for some of the most illegal things on the planet, and no one ever suspected it, just because of the fact that they put on a good cover. They put up a good fake out. And they played the role so well, no one ever suspected that what their true nature is. The same could be said of people. I mean, there are so many stories about these serial killers that they've come up on in books and in television shows that nobody really ever suspected them of doing all of this, because of the fact that they were charismatic, they were very habitual whenever they were in public, they were kind, they were excessively religious, or something along those lines. There are different factors for every different situation, but you get the drift. But the biggest thing about it is, it's like, understanding a person's true nature, you will never fully get that. This is why there is so much deception in the world about people. A person's true nature, what is tied to their heart and soul, you will never fully understand that until it is either too late or until they get caught in whatever it is, whatever dastardly deeds they had done. And this is the sad part about the truth of the human race. We have had some really, really, really rough characters that everybody thought was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, the hilarious part about it is, it's like, if you actually do your research, Time magazine had put Adolf Hitler as the man of the year because of his charismatic popularity before he kicked off World War II. I want you to think about that really carefully. Before World War II kicked off, Adolf Hitler was in Time magazine on the cover as the man of the year because of how popular he was within his own country. They said so many things about him before World War II came out and showed the world how much of a true monster he really was. This is a prime example here as far as all that goes. Deception is the biggest thing, and that is the thing that we ignore the most. I hope this little endeavor has been insightful and has given everybody something to think about. Now, I'm not telling everybody this to simply get you to to be so afraid of everything and everyone around you. I'm speaking on this to raise awareness. Because the sad part about it is we think we may know everything we know about people. But the truth is, we only see the surface and what they want us to see as far as all that. A lot of people are really good at hiding their darknesses. Some hide them because they don't feel they could conquer them. And I find that wrong. I think every person is fully capable of conquering their darknesses, to become better people, to be good people overall. And that is my personal belief, and that is why I will always continue to try to put out these philosophical thoughts, these self-improvement posts that I put out there to get people to stop and think, maybe I've been looking at this particular subject the wrong way. Maybe there's a different way that I can approach things that would be better for me and will help to better me as a person. This is my goal with these situations and this aspect of everything that I do. I thank you guys for your time, and I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you on my next